All right, guys. Hey, how's it going? I wanted to vlog in today and see if we can get some topics going on here. So I've been watching the news. I watch a lot of Fox News. I'm a Fox News junkie, and the way that this partisanship is just it's it's toxic. It's not good, man. I mean, the Democrats are basically selling their souls to stop this, Republican side and president. And I mean, they have clear contempt and hate for him, um, and they're trying to change the rules and as they go and try to change the rules for procedures and presidential powers and stuff. And you know, it's like the Republicans have done this before too. So I'm not just bagging on the Democrats. The Republicans have done this too. Like the filibuster bill. You know, I think that was the Republicans that did that, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they did that to limit the use of the filibuster. Ooh, excuse me. And now, I mean, if you're a minority side, you have nothing. You know, I think it was the Democrats that did that, and then the Republicans did it, and that was used against them, and then something else changed or something, and it's like, bruh, every time you do something, it's going to affect the next president down the road, or the next portion of our government down the road. So, I mean, if you pass a law or a bill, resolution that you don't want to limit the powers of the president and give him limited powers, now are you going to go back in and when during the next president and change it, so you just change it back to where it was? No, you're going to leave it, and then there's going to be a conflict for the next president, and the next president's going to have his hands tied because you keep setting precedences that come back and kick you right in the ass. Now, I'm sorry about my language, but the Congress, I mean, they're obviously not getting paid to think. They're getting paid for other things, and they're not thinking properly. They're thinking with their wallets and not their minds, and it's and that's just not cool. And the Republicans do it too. You give them, I mean, the student loan debt and the way that was supposedly reformed, and the credit card debts and stuff like that they did all that reforming when they had the majority. I think it was during Clinton, or no, Bush. As Bush was coming out of office, they were doing stuff like that, and that's come back to bite a lot of people. I mean, that's come back to bite a lot of people. But I can't believe that they're just sitting up there and they impeached the president because he was a clear and present danger to our nation and our national security, and she's sitting on the damn articles. I mean, to hear some of these people talk when they gave their talks on the floor of the House. On the floor of the House. That's the people's floor. That's my floor. That's your floor. To hear them say some of the things that they said about the president and the office itself, I mean, it makes me sick. No wonder why people vote these people out and stuff. And I mean, but that's not a common occurrence anymore. these people are so obsessed with power that they'll do anything. They'll do absolutely anything. It's sad. It's really sad. I am glad to see, though, that we have a president and we have our culture is changing to get the respect back for law enforcement and first responders. You know, when I was in law enforcement, people respected you and you respected them. I mean, and we used to ask or talk amongst ourselves, and if there was a new officer coming in, you could tell whether he was what they call badge heavy or Billy Badass syndrome. And because, you know, he'd always sound cocky and gung-ho and, you know, I'll do this, I'll do that. And then they pull a suspect out of the vehicle or wherever, whatever the call may be, their first major big call, and they get punched in the face or something, you know, wrestled to the ground, and then it takes, you know, the rest of us as backup to come and bail him out of that situation. And that's because, you know, he didn't respect the person. He went in thinking he was, you know, super cop with all this power, and the guy turned around and popped him in the face. And am I talking about a true story? Kind of. It happens. It happens quite frequently in law enforcement. When you're new, you have that heavy badge syndrome, and someone puts you in your place. And although I'm not condoning violence on police officers, because I'm a former police officer. That's garbage to say that. But what I am saying is, it usually takes a couple of those calls where you're getting beat up on and whatnot to get it through your mind that, hey, respect is given and earned, and usually it corrects itself. And lately, it's just not doing that. I mean, the media, oh my gosh, the media, this is a totally different topic. We want to talk about toxic. The media is just so toxic. The toxicity in the media, I don't know what to tell you. You know, and what's funny is, I listen to rap music, and I love it. I mean, I listened to it as a kid. I listen to it now. There's a rapper, for those of you who don't know, he passed away from gunshot wound. But his name is Tupac, and even him, he would rap about how the media, I mean, he can't get facts from the media. They can't get their story straight. They're going to lie and do this. And that's so true. That is so true. That not only was he facing, and the black people back then were facing the constant racism, and they still face that, but not as bad. But the constant racism and the Rodney King post Rodney King culture and that kind of stuff, yeah, I mean, he was telling us how, you know, he can't trust the white people, he can't trust his own people, he can't trust, you know, the media. So you only trust God, and you know what He gave you, and that's it. And that's, I mean, that's where we're at. That's where we're at, and it's sad because it takes away the human spirit. So, well, I probably talked long enough. I'm not feeling very good today, so. But if you have any discussions or whatever, or you got questions, just put them down in the comments tab, and I'll try and answer them. So I hope you have a great day. Take care.